Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump. Today we're doing my top 5 most annoying collectibles in video games. Now, within video games, they'll, depending on which ones you're playing, you'll have to find various collectibles without the game, and they might help you, depending on which game you're playing, find, or basically upgrade your inventory. Might want to, like show off in a particular level, like how many you might have forgotten, stuff like that. And today I'll just be going over some of my most annoying ones that you can find in video games. So for number 5 are the gems from Crash Bandicoot 4. Now what makes these gems annoying is that in Crash 4 there are 6 gems to collect, 12 if you include the inverted levels. And these are a lot harder I would say to collect than the ones in the original Crash games, because with those games it might be they're basically just collect or basically break all the boxes and find the hidden coloured gems depending on which level you're playing. And with Crash 4 there are 3 gems you can collect just by getting a bunch of the Wumpa fruit, 1 gem that you can get by breaking all the boxes, 1 gem that you can get by dying 3 times or less, and 1 gem that you can find but is quite hidden. Now, with a lot of these gems can basically just you can get quite easily, but throughout the game they will get harder and harder and harder. And I would say when it comes to the hidden gems, try and find as many as you can. But when it comes to like, let's say the last few gems on some of the levels, and you don't know what they are, I would probably say use the guide just so you can find those last few gems. And yeah, and some of the gems are quite easy to find. They might be in like the beginning part of a level, or you might find them throughout the level, and they might just be out in the open, so you can just collect them. So yeah, just try for the hidden gems. Find as much as you can. But if you need to, use a guide. And for the death gem, try and if you're trying to get that gem, I would say try and, after you've been in a particular level, try and you haven't got the death gem, try and perfect that level. So like, try and remember where particular enemies are and where particular obstacles are going to be when it comes to trying to dodge each one and trying to not get hit or lose a life. So yeah, for number 4 are the Korok seeds from Breath of the Wild. Now in the game there are 900 seeds altogether, and like with the hidden gem in Crash 4, try and find as many as you can, and then once you've got a lot of when you have enough seeds, or seeds that you feel like are enough, try and upgrade them in your inventory. Try and get your inventory upgraded by Hetsu, who needs Korok seeds to help you upgrade your inventory. And if you're trying to go for that 100% completion, I would highly suggest using a guide. For example, there's one made by Zelda Dungeon, in which it shows you each region of the game. So the Akala region, Hyrule Castle, Central Hyrule, the Great Plateau, that kind of thing. And it tells you how many seeds there are in a particular area. And I highly suggest, if you're going for that 100% completion, use the Zelda Dungeon Korok seed guide, because then you can find them. And if you're missing a few seeds, try and find the remaining ones in those areas. So yeah, and also with hero mode, if you want to do 100% hero mode as well, you have to do it again, find all 900. And like with the Koroks, the gems from Crash 4, if you combine total amount of seeds from normal mode and hero mode, you have to find 1,800 seeds altogether, and that can be really annoying and really frustrating, because you just have to remember every single seed. And again, if you just use Zelda Dungeon, the Zelda Dungeon Korok seed map guide if you want to find every single seed. So yeah. For number 3 are the mini kits from the Lego games. Now, what I love about, I quite love the mini kits just because, just because after once you've collected a bunch of them, you can see the model ships that they're based on when they're combined together. But what makes them annoying is just like having to find all of them in a particular level. And I don't think you can even collect all of them in one level. You basically have to just try and it's one of those collectibles you have to come back to just time and time again once you have more characters. And when it comes to certain levels, some characters that might get to a mini kit because of their abilities. So for example, there might be a level in which a strong character might be able to use, or a character that might have, if it's something like, let's say Lego Star Wars, someone with the Force can only use, and stuff like that. And what I really love about the mini kits is that there are 10 in each level, and it's basically you just having to find each mini kit. And then with Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, what I like about finding the mini kits in that game, it's just it's the help of one of the upgrades you can get, in which it can help you find mini kits in the level, which I think is 100% easier. But in that game, there are only 5 mini kits instead of 10, which is, you know, a lot easier. But I would prefer it if there were 10 because it feels more normal in a sense. So yeah, but they can still be annoying because it depends on how many. Depends on what level you're playing and what characters you're using, and it will be it just depends on the level and characters that you have. For number 2 is the pose from Twilight Princess. Now, the pose in the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess are quite annoying to collect, mainly because they only appear at night, and the only way you can attack them is if you have Wolf Link activated and you have your senses turned on. And yeah, these are really hard to find. You can find a bunch of them in some of the dungeons. I think after after you've gained the Master Sword, so those are kind of easy to get. But then when it comes to the pose that you can only find at night, and they can be very hard to find because they are scattered all over the world. Now with Twilight Princess HD, you are given a pole lamp that tells you if pose are near you, but it doesn't tell you exactly where they are, which is kind of annoying, because it's basically just a hide and seek really, just trying to pose, hit them, attack them, and then go back to the cursed guy, and then he'll be more free because he needs a certain amount of Po souls in order to break the curse that he has, which is basically this giant gold person who's dude. So yeah. And for number 1 are the flashback tapes from Crash Bandicoot 4. Now, unlike with the gems in that game, where you can just, depending on which level you're playing, you can just perfect until you can get all the gems. With the flashback tapes, these are probably the hardest ones to get in the game, or hardest collectibles in the game, mainly because in order to get to the flashback tapes, you can't die a single time. Now, with some of these tapes, they're quite easy to get because some of them are like quite early on in the game or in the levels. But when it comes to the more later levels, they are much more later in the game, and there might be times where you might have died a few times, and then that means you won't be able to get the tapes. And these are very annoying because, like, I do enjoy the levels that you play in the flashback tapes, because they're basically levels in which basically take place before the main events of the first game, and it's where Crash and Coco are doing experiments that Cortex has done. So yeah, but these flashback tapes, in order to play these levels, just you just have to collect them without dying, and they can be really, really hard. And just, I would say, if you want to get these tapes, go and get them. But again, try and perfect the levels so that when it comes to getting the tapes, try and getting that part of the game or part of the level without dying. Just try and practice, really. So yeah, so that's really my top 5 most annoying collectibles in video games. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.